Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing my everyday makeup routine, and it's super quick and easy. It literally takes me 10 minutes to do every morning. I've really pared my makeup down and kind of just focused on making my skin look really good. I don't usually do eyeshadow like on an everyday basis. I only do eyeshadow when it's like a special occasion. So I'm going to share with you guys my super quick 10-minute morning routine for makeup and what I have in my makeup bag. So I'm going to show you everything right now. My little eyelash curler is sticking out, but right now this is the makeup bag that I've been using, and I love this because it's pretty small and it fits everything that I need. And I have my powder outside because I had to buy a new one, but this also fits in here really well. So to share with you guys my my makeup routine, and I hope you guys learned something, learn a few new tips and tricks. And yeah, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off with my base, which is what I always start off with. So in here I have all my makeup and my brushes that I use basically every single day. So I always like to start with my primer, and I am using the Maybelline Master Prime in the number 100 Blur and Smooth. This is like their original one. So I have this flat top like synthetic brush. Looks like that's kind of dirty because I use it for foundation or for concealer. So I just like to pour a little bit of my primer on it. I don't like using my hands because I have to like wipe them and clean them off. So it's just easier for me to just put my primer on my brush, and then I like to dot it all over. And by the way, I already have my moisturizer and eye cream on. I put that on right after I brush my teeth in the morning. So I like to blend that in with this little brush, and this one I think is just from Crown brushes. Literally any flat top synthetic brush will work for this. It doesn't have to be the same one I use, doesn't have to be a really expensive one. Literally you could go on Amazon and find a ton of brushes that work really well and are really cheap. So once I have that on, I'm going to go in with my foundation, which I've only been really concealing. So I have been using the, I'm going to find it here, not that one. So I've been using the Tarte Shape Tape, and I have actually 3 of them. This one's basically out, and this one was light medium, so I'm actually going to throw that out. But I have right now light and medium, so I kind of like having these two because then I can mix it. And sometimes I feel like I need to be a little lighter, and sometimes I need to be a little darker. So this one, the light medium one, is, I don't know, sometimes it could be a little yellow. So I have these two, and this is what I like to do. So I like unscrew both of the lids so they're like sticking out like that. And I put my mirror up. So I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette, or Amrezy Highlighter. So I'm going to start with the light concealer, and I like to kind of like get a little bit of the product off. And I'm just going to dot it where I need it. So like my little pimples, where I get red, and where I have like discoloration. So kind of just like all over basically. Random pimple down there. So I have like some scars, like pimple scars on my cheeks and stuff, and I get a little darkness around my mouth. And then I like to put some down the middle of my forehead. I like to do my under eyes last, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of the medium color, and I'm going to put more of this on, so like in the same areas but just a little bit more product. And this is what literally I've been doing. I haven't used foundation in so long. I don't even remember the last time I used foundation. And then I'm going to go in with that same brush, and I'm just going to blend this little pimple out here. So I like to start on the side that I started first, and I'm lightly like pouncing the concealer, and I kind of like spread it basically all over my face. So I'm really using this as a foundation. I like the coverage of this. I like the finish. It looks really nice, and it's really easy. So just go in and pounce it all over. So obviously if you don't have as much like discoloration or as many pimples or whatever, then you don't have to use this much. I do like to use a little bit more than like just for regular concealing, because I kind of blend it all over. So I blend it in between my eyebrows and down my nose, and a little bit more of the darker one down here. So now that I have that all blended, I'm going to do my under eye, and I do have another brush for this because I like it to be a little bit more packed. So I use this brush. This one is again from Crown. It doesn't have a name or anything, and it's just like an angled kabuki brush, and it's synthetic. And that's one of the things that I like. My favorite kind of brushes are synthetic brushes. They're the best. Also, I have allergies to like animals. I'm allergic to cats and dogs and like other danger animals, and whenever I use a natural hairbrush, it makes my face itch, and I think it's because it's from an animal, and I know it's been cleaned and stuff, but it always makes my face itch. So I try not to use like natural bristle brushes. So I just put on a tiny bit of the light color on my under eye first, and this is my step for every day. And basically I'm just color correcting. It looks pretty light on camera, but it's not that light. So I'm color correcting because my dark circles are like designer bags, so I just want to color correct and kind of minimize the appearance of the color first, and then I'm going to go in and conceal. So I'm done with light, and I'm going to go in with the medium color and just put it right in the same area. I actually need to go buy a new one of these because I am running out. You know, medium is definitely a little bit more of my favorite color. Like, I think light is a little bit just too light and a little bit too yellow for me, but I like to layer them, so it's okay. So I'm going to pat this in with the same little angled kabuki brush, and I think like Sigma has one that's really similar to this. But you could just Google, like in Amazon, just find in Amazon angled kabuki brushes, and you will find a ton of them. Like I said earlier, like you can find good ones for cheap. Like this probably cost me like $2 or $3. So I'm just blending that all over my eyelid. I have a little bit of discoloration on there too, which is fine. But while I'm here, you know, I might as well blend it all out. For powder, I love the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. This is the loose finishing powder, and I have it in the number 15 light. I've tried 20, but that's just like a tad dark for me, and 10 is like white. So I'm gonna go in with 15. Open that up, and it has, this is my new one, so it has a little tape thing. And what I like to do, once I have it open, I like flip it over, tap it a few times, and then I'll have a bunch of product in there. So for powder, I like to use my beauty blender, and excuse my beauty blender, but I use it for powder all the time. So I'm going to take some on my beauty blender and kind of like pat it into the lid, and then let me get my mirror because I can't see. And I like to powder my under eyes first because I get like, I have little fine lines down here that if I don't powder right away, I get like creasy, and that's not a good look. So get a little bit more, make sure I get all the way around my eye. And like, sometimes this could look a little cakey, like super close up, but nobody's gonna be that close to my face, and it literally sets my concealer for the whole day. But this powder is so nice. Like when you use it like this with a beauty blender, it's gonna be more intense. So you're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I'm gonna pop that right under. So I'm not sweeping or anything, I'm just like pouncing it right on top of my concealer and making sure it's all nice and set. So I love this powder. It's literally one of my favorite powders I've ever tried, and I've tried quite a few. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. So I'm just gonna pop some powder in the middle of my forehead. Gotta get more powder. And obviously it's gonna be, this video is gonna be longer than 10 minutes because I'm like explaining everything. But when I'm just like focused and doing it, it literally takes me 10 minutes to do. So I'm going to put the powder on my smile line, like right next to my nose, and down like my mouth, because there's like lines that come from my mouth down to like my chin, and I don't want that to get creasy. So I put powder in there. Basically, anywhere that my face moves, I want to powder really good with my beauty blender so that it doesn't crack or get crazy. And then once I have all of that on, so like basically like the T-zone, so I did my under eye and the center of my face. So then I'm just gonna go ahead with my powder brush. Again, this is a no-name powder brush and it's from Crown Brush, and I got all of these brushes at the hair show that I went to last year in New York. So that's called IBS. I actually vlogged that whole thing, and I did a haul of everything that I got. So I got a ton of brushes there. They were really, really cheap. And these are honestly some of my favorite brushes. They're so good. Like honestly, better than Morphe. And I don't even have that many Morphe brushes, but I've seen like evidence videos of like Morphe brushes falling apart and shedding. Like these never shed on me. Even when they were new, like they never shed. So I'm just taking a little bit more powder and just going really lightly all over my face. And I go over the places that I already put powder just because I want to like smooth it out. And I'm literally getting like the smallest amount of powder, not like caking it up. And then I go over my forehead. And this powder does have a little bit of pigment in it, so that's why I like to use it on top of my concealer, because it gives me a little extra coverage. Now I'm going to go in with the rest of my face stuff. So I have contour, blush, and obviously my highlighter. So this is what I've been using as my mirror. So I like to start off with my contour slash bronzer, and this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil in medium deep. And I've hit pan, but there's still some in there, so I'm going to use it until it's over because we don't waste products here, okay? And then I have another one of these crown brushes that are like no name. This one did have a name. I think it said large powder. All it says is outer now. So I'm going to swirl my brush in there, tap it off, and then I'm just going to pop that right underneath my cheekbones. And I use both, like I do both with the one amount of color, so I don't go dipping back in there. Because this is like my everyday look, so it doesn't need to be like contoured like hard, you know. So get a little bit more, hit my temples, like my forehead, just bring some color back in. Honestly, like this is like the easiest makeup ever. So I go under my chin, obviously because I have a double chin, so I gotta try to minimize that as much as possible. And with whatever's left over, I hit like under my lip, and I get my nose just to give it some color so it's not so flat. And since I set everything, nothing's gonna move, so it's great. Pop that back in the bag. And then for my blush, I use this little angled brush. This is the F40 from Sigma. It's the little, you know, the little mini version. And my blush that I've been using literally every day is the MAC blush in Desert Rose. So it's super pretty. It's like a mauve pink, but it goes with everything. So I like really go in there and swirl it, and then I just smile a little bit and just hit right on my cheek. Get a little bit more. And this color is really light, so it's not gonna be like crazy, but you'll definitely be able to see it. And I like to add a little bit more than I should, really. I put some on my nose, put some on my temples and on my chin, because then I go in with my powder brush again and just blend everything out. Make sure everything is seamless and blended. So then last step for the face is my highlight. Obviously I can't live without highlight. Sometimes I forget it, but I try not to because it's so nice. So I'm using the Amrezy palette. I keep wanting to say palette. So I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. So really pretty gold. This is one of my favorites. It like makes your skin look so like shiny and like a sheen. So I'm going to take this little tapered brush, and this is again from Crown, and this actually has a number on it. So this is a C403 small chisel blush brush. So I'm going to use that to highlight, and I'm just popping that right on top of my cheek and going up to like the side of my eyebrow. So take a little bit of that, pop it right there. Look how pretty. I love it so much. So I take it right underneath my eyebrow as well, because obviously we're not doing eyeshadow, because this is just like my super quick makeup for every day. So I like to put a little bit of that under my eyebrow. And sometimes I go a little crazy with the highlight because it's so pretty. And then I take a tiny little bit, like dot it in, that's it. And I'm going to put some down my nose. I'm not a fan of putting it right on the tip of your nose because it makes your nose look bigger. So what I do is put it right on the bridge, just a tad. And then I hit my Cupid's bow. I love hitting the Cupid's bow. Gives it a little extra. Put some on the chin, and I like to put some, like whatever's left over. So I'm not adding any more new, just using whatever's on the brush right over my, like the arch of my eyebrow. So it gives the whole face a nice little sheen. And then again, I go in with my powder brush and just make sure everything's blended. So there's like no crazy lines. We don't want any crazy lines. So cute. I love this highlight. So then I do my eyebrows and my lashes, which is literally like the end of my thing. So the next couple of things that I do, and it's like I'm basically done, is my eyebrows and my eyelashes. So I have my eyelash curler and my mascara, which is literally my holy grail mascara. I've talked about this in every single makeup tutorial I've ever done. This is the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. It's the best. It's the one in waterproof, and it's black. I think it's like blackest black or something like that. And for my eyebrows, I like put everything back so this bag is like full. For my brows, I before was using the last two eyebrow pencils I used were the MAC pencil, like the really skinny MAC eyebrow pencil, and before that I had the Anastasia Brow Wiz. But they're really expensive, even though, I mean, the MAC one I think is like $17, which is better than the Anastasia one, which is $21 for like the smallest amount of product. So I actually went to Ulta and tried getting something a little bit cheaper, and so I picked up the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I can't even talk. This is in the color Espresso, so it's nice and dark, but it has the spoolie. Yeah, you can't see, but it has the spoolie on one side, and then the tiny little eyebrow, you know, pencil part on the side. And this was like $11, I think, or 10, like $10.99. So I'm gonna start at the tail of my eyebrow, and I kind of like to do like flicking motion because I don't want it to be too crazy harsh, you know. So I like pencils because they're so easy and fast. So I'm just extending my tail out a little bit more, and I'll zoom this in obviously so you guys can actually see what I'm doing because I'm pretty far from the camera right now. But yeah, so then I go on top, kind of fill this part out here. I have like no hair up on the top part of my brow, like where my arch is. So I like to fill that in a little bit. Ooh, crazy. So I'm gonna fill my eyebrows in really quick. Literally this takes me like a minute usually when I'm not talking and moving so much. So I like to comb through them, right, like I do a couple of strokes and then I comb through them just to soften it up so it's not so harsh and crazy looking. Especially because I don't have eyeliner or eyeshadow on. So if your eyebrows are too strong, it'll look funny. So then the top part in the front, I definitely never touch. But I go down and kind of make a line underneath the front and blend it. Make sure to blend it. It's like the key to get your eyebrows to look natural. I used to go so hard and like fill my eyebrows up completely, but I have a lot of eyebrow hair, so I don't really need to fill them all completely, like draw them on, you know. So I've been trying to like be more conscious about like overfilling them in. So I just go underneath, make sure that line is nice and sharp but still blended, and that's literally it. It's so quick. Brows are done. Then I go in with the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. This is in the color Espresso as well. And I've had this for so long, but it's still going strong, so I kind of like clean off a little bit of that so I don't have too much. But I like to just set them so they're not like moving all over the place. And I just put, this is tinted, so got some on my skin there. So just use this a little bit, like really lightly, to set my eyebrows in place. Because some of my hairs are a little long, even though I try to trim them, you know, but they're a little long. Before I get to my lashes, I'm just going to do my lips. So this is the lipstick that I have in my bag. This is from MAC. It is in the color Modesty. And this is Cream Sheen formula. So I love this color. It's like a Your Lips but better color. So I'm going to take that and just put it all over. And that's it. Blend it out. I don't really like wearing lipstick, but with a full face, you know, kind of have to do it. So one of my most important steps is curling my lashes, because mine go straight out, which is super annoying, and they're really short. So if I don't curl them, there's like nothing there, you know. They're like invisible. Just gonna curl them, and I like to do it a couple of times. Make sure I get it really close to the root, like as close as possible without obviously hurting myself. But I'm just making sure that they're nice and curled. I like to lift up the lash curler so I get a better curl. So that's pretty good. And then, like I said earlier, I'm going to use my Lash Stiletto from Maybelline. I love this. And I'm going to do a few coats of this, so like 2 or 3 coats. So that is it. That's it. It's so quick and easy. Obviously this video is going to be a little bit longer than 10 minutes because I was talking through it and kind of explaining what I was doing and showing you guys like what's in my bag. But yeah, so that's it. I don't know if I've said it earlier, but this bag, I think I got it at Target a really long time ago, maybe 3 to 4, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't remember. It was a really long time ago. So they probably don't have it anymore, but I'm sure they have other things. So this is just a cloth little makeup bag. I would say it's like about a medium size. It's small, but it's not that small. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you try out this makeup. It's so easy, and if you're in a rush or you don't have time to do anything, or you just don't want to spend like an hour getting ready in the morning, like this routine is quick, 10 minutes, and it looks really good. So as you can see, I look put together and fresh, but not like overdone. And I could like wear this makeup with like sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I could also like dress it up with like a nice little dress and some heels, and it looks good no matter what. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. I post every Monday and Friday, and I'll have linked below my latest videos. And yeah, subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to, if you don't want to miss out on any of my videos. I make beauty, lifestyle, home videos, cleaning videos, all kinds of videos. So I'm expanding my horizons and kind of doing everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!